All right, we are kicking off the first full week of 2025. Thanks for hanging out with us here. It is kicking off in quite a monstrous weatherway for some of us.
Big winter storm.
Yeah.
Several inches of snow across several states.
I mean, some places getting really close to maybe not record snow, but at least in that top 5, top 10 snowfall for the day. So thanks for sticking with us here.
And we've seen it happen almost every year for some areas. And now the stage with that cold air, Felicia, is set.
I mean, it's kind of like one hit after another, right? When you're talking about the cold temperatures coming and sticking around. So hopefully you watch that carefully. If not, we'll have it again next hour and you're prepared for this cold. We're watching that next system. I know you're probably like, well, what is going on? We've heard about snow in the south, and it's going to be really late Wednesday through Friday. And what you'll notice is the models are coming into pretty good agreement on this.
And what we're also seeing with this right there, Dallas.
Right.
And we're talking major metroplex here with snow, and south of town also possibly some ice.
Of course, when you're talking about the freezing rain, large swath of freezing rain possible, that is going to bring us that possibility for power outages as well. So you want to plan accordingly. If you are talking about power outages and the roads may be messy, maybe stores are closed, you want to make sure you have those supplies. Maybe get them today for those places where we're calling for some of that freezing rain.
Yeah, maybe not a bad idea. One is heading out today, and then we're going to be looking to the west for the next one.
So you got a little bit of a break in terms of the active weather coming down, so you want to plan accordingly. Here is what we're looking at for Thursday, and you can see we're already starting to see that taking shape. The pink is the freezing rain, and I think that's what I'm really concerned about, because we've seen the ice in Texas before, and it can cause such big issues.
And you lose power because of the ice, and then it's cold out there, and you're cold in your home.
Yeah.
That's rough.
It's not good. It's hard to come back from that, especially when it's not something, you know, if you're not a pro at it like they are in International Falls.
Right.
Then, it's like, how do I deal with this? It happened, what, 2-3 years ago?
Well, we're not going ice fishing here in Dallas. We're not pumped about the cold.
Exactly.
Generally not.
All right, here's Thursday morning. So your Thursday morning commute could certainly be impacted. You can see where we've got that possibility for some of that ice and that snow and that mix. Places like Shreveport, this forecast is like...
It's tricky. The whole Arklatex region there could be a tough go.
Places like Memphis, Little Rock, you're going to get some heavy snow out of this to round out the week. So that is what we're watching for our next system.
Oh, I know.
Stevie's like, put that mic by my face one more time.
I dare you. One more time.
You're not going to have a microphone anymore. You know, funny that Jim would kind of call someone out for not watching football, because I feel like that was kind of the perfect stay home and watch football.
Well, she had me at mac and cheese, too.
Listen,
right?
That type of weather. And it's not getting much better when we look at the overall pattern ahead. We are just going to have so much cold air in place.
Yeah, it's reinforcing cold air, if you will. Just over the past few hours, you can see that temperatures, they're down. They're down, and they're going to be down for a while here. Even with you throw the wind in there, it's going to feel like it's below zero for a long time.
Rock bottom comes to mind when maybe mentally and temperature-wise, when you're talking about -13, that's what it's going to feel like. It's not the coldest we've been so far this season, but it is very prolonged.
It's hanging out for a long time. And even here, you see how, why is it a little bit not as cold in Omaha when you got 9 below there in Kansas City? Well, this is the wind, but also you got a lot more snow down here as well. It makes a difference.
It acts like a nature's refrigerator almost when you've got that snowpack on the ground. So that wind chill forecast heading into Tuesday morning, I mean, look at this. Binghamton feeling like -1, feeling like the 20s pretty much all day in D.C. as you're heading through the day. It is just staying so cold.
It's locked in.
Yeah.
It is locked in. And Washington, D.C., these are the lows. Your average low this time of year is below freezing. 31 degrees is what you would expect. So at one point, you're going to be down 10 degrees below average, what you would expect this time of year.
And that's your actual temperature. Sometimes I think it's even worse when you've got the wind chill, because it's like, how do you combat the wind chill?
Tough.
It just cuts through everything. This is what we also need to look out for. Cold weather advisories. I mean, when you're
down to Tampa, look at that.
Right, when you're seeing that down to Tampa, when you're seeing it along the I-10 corridor, you know you're going to have a lot of people that are like,
what is going on?
Yeah, exactly.
What is up?
Gumbo alert for like New Orleans and those places.
It has some cold alligators here for sure. 7 o'clock here Wednesday morning, now into the evening. Temperatures getting up above when the freezing mark, at least what's going to feel like with the wind here. Raleigh, Your average low 32, and you're going to be in the 20s the next several mornings.
This is why we're talking about protect your pipes. Make sure you're taking all the precautions, because when it gets this cold and it stays that cold, that's when you start to see those pipes bursting. You start to see the negative impacts. So Atlanta, no stranger to this either. You want to be ready. Look at this. We're talking about days below freezing.
Yeah, these are the overnight lows. So there's going to be several hours when it's below freezing.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be watching. The daytime high is going to be a little better, but not much better. Yeah. We'll be watching as a dangerous fire event is unfolding starting really tomorrow for Southern California, and then it could last for a couple days. We're going to be stuck with these conditions that are ripe for fire for a couple days.
And you see it right here with this from Ventura County into Los Angeles, parts of Riverside, San Bernardino, down to San Diego. Yeah. Big area with millions of people with red flag warnings and fire weather watches.
Of course, we've already seen our fair share of fire issues throughout the West, throughout California. When you're talking about getting up to the critical level that we are, that is from the National Fire Situation.
Dry conditions, windy conditions, bad news for the spread of wildfires. Dry means things can burn easier. Yeah. And the wind can do a couple things. It can help kind of fan the flames, right, if you will, add oxygen to the fires. It can also spread the fires dramatically as well.
It's going to be a dangerous situation. The winds begin to really peak on Tuesday, but you're seeing here Wednesday morning still very, very hefty winds. And when you're talking about that Santa Ana wind, it is a downsloping wind. That means it is a hot, dry wind that's going to be fanning those flames and could make those flames spread more erratically.
And the act of the air going down, it actually compresses the air in the atmosphere, which warms it and dries it even more.
So it's kind of like you're throwing salt on the wound of the fire problem here in Southern California. Now, what you'll notice is we do start out with quite a bit of moisture in the air throughout today, but we're going to start to see those relative humidities really dropping. As Chris was saying, you've got that very drying effect of those Santa Ana winds, and that just takes any moisture that might have been hanging around and just gets rid of it.
From Santa Barbara County all the way down to the Mexico border, the fire potential is either elevated or it is critical, especially in some of the mountainous terrain.
You see that starting to kind of ramp up for Tuesday. We're continuing that into Wednesday. And, we could see some of these conditions into Thursday, maybe not as bad Thursday into Friday, but it's still there. From
the fire threat to the ice threat that we've been watching materialize throughout the day with the snowfall, and another one's on the way. Another system, Felicia. Yeah. We're going to start to see by tomorrow some snow showing up in Colorado and once again into Kansas.
I mean, it is going to be a far-reaching system with the cold, with the ice and the snow. This one's going to be another travel nightmare. Overnight tonight, you've got snow across portions of the Rockies. You can see Salt Lake City. You've got some snow in your forecast. And we are going to watch as that system kind of hangs around tomorrow across portions of Colorado and northern New Mexico.
Pacific Northwest tonight gets a relative break, but it's going to be cold. Not quite freezing, but close to it in Seattle. It'll be in the 30s in Portland. Will be freezing in the Rogue Valley in Medford. And then guess what? This time of year, it's never too long before that next one rolls in.
You know that we're going to be dealing with kind of system after system. This week, we're going to watch as this becomes more widespread. So in places like Minneapolis and Omaha, overnight tonight, soak in, even though it's really cold, soak in the fact that you're getting a break from that precipitation falling, because it's not going to be that much longer.
We had a potent system work across that's winding down today with more snow tomorrow in Colorado. Billings, partly sunny, 30 degrees. Casper, partly sunny in the 20s.
Enjoy this while you have it. And you're probably like, what are you talking about? Enjoy 23 in Dallas. Enjoy 11. Right. What do you mean? That's because that next system is taking shape. And as we get to the middle part of this week, you're going to be wishing it was just dry and cold in Texas.
And this kind of sets the stage, too. Yeah. Cold air in place with a system that moves it. Now, daytime highs will get above freezing.
Right.
Might not feel like it in Dallas at 40 degrees.
I mean, that 49 in southern Louisiana with at least some sunshine, you're probably going to kind of love that. Overnight tonight, still very cold, single digits in Minneapolis. So, of course, with all the snow that has fallen across this region, you're not melting any of it. It's hanging. It's hanging around.
Yeah. Temperatures down into the teens, all that snow in Kansas City over to St. Louis, 27. And tonight, again, the system winding down and heading out.
You're still going to have some snow falling for places like D.C., so your morning commute tomorrow morning could still be a little slick in some places. And then what you'll notice is these temperatures staying cold. I mean, windy and cold in Boston. But again, this is all just kind of priming us for that next system that we're watching heading through the rest of this week.
It's been getting colder throughout the day across a lot of the southeast, and overnight tonight temperatures will be down into the 20s and 30s.
And that is going to be not nearly as cold as it's going to be over the next couple days once we get this next system to move through. These temperatures are going to be plummeting. I mean, 34 in Nashville for your high tomorrow. At least we'll have some sunshine. You'll get some sunshine out of it.
Yeah, that's going on.
It's really going downhill this week across the South, so go ahead and plan for that as well.
Even it might look mild in Tampa and Miami, 50s and 60s. That's cold.
That's cold.
That's cold for Florida.
They're bundled up there. And of course, we're watching the next system, so we'll have more on that.